He's unbelievable talent.
You know, he'll just keep getting better.
One-of-a-kind type of player.
Let the guy change the game.
Victor Wembanyama.
Just when you thought Victor Wembanyama couldn't surprise us anymore, he's rewriting the script in the NBA rulebook while he's at it. Coming off one of the most jaw-dropping rookie seasons we've ever seen, Victor isn't just breaking records, he's redefining what's even possible for a basketball player.
Talk about a guy that's arguably, he's going to be the best player on both ends of the floor in the next 2 years.
The basketball world has been buzzing for decades about unicorns players with impossible skills for their size, but Victor might just be the rarest of them all.
This is the most highly anticipated player to ever enter.
In only 76 games, he's achieved the near-mythical 5x5 stat line not once, but twice. For those unfamiliar, a 5x55 or more in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks is one of the hardest feats in all of sports. Since the NBA started tracking blocks in 1973, it's happened only 23 times.
He's generational already.
I have a rule that I do not put a ceiling on Victor Wembanyama.
Victor joins the company of legends and immediately elevates himself into a stratosphere shared by just two others in league history who've done it multiple times. And he's just 20 years old. Let that sink in. But Victor's latest exploits didn't stop there. In a recent showdown against the Washington Wizards, he delivered one of the most electrifying performances of the season, dropping a 50-piece that left fans and critics alike speechless.
Victor is a very special player. We haven't seen nothing like that.
He's going to change the game 100%, and he is already on that path.
With effortless step backs, ridiculous fadeaways, and a barrage of threes, Victor became the fourth youngest player in NBA history to hit the 50-point mark, following none other than Brandon Jennings, LeBron James, and Devin Booker.
That's amazing. We are so proud. We are very happy for you.
Not only did he hit that milestone, but he also set a personal record for three-pointers and became the first player in San Antonio Spurs history to drop 50 points while hitting 5 or more threes. Yes, even for a franchise that's seen the greatness of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and Manu Ginobili, Victor's breaking ground no one has touched before.
With the first pick, San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama.
But here's the real kicker, he's just warming up. Victor's game goes beyond the numbers. At 7', with a wingspan that defies belief, he's a defensive nightmare, swatting shots into another time zone while controlling the game with poise rarely seen in a player so young. His offensive bag is just as deep, firing threes like a guard, dominating the paint like a center, and doing it all with an elegance that makes it look too easy.
His enthusiasm for the game, you know, you could tell that through the TV and playing against him. So,
in a league filled with stars, Victor doesn't just shine, he casts a shadow over the entire court. The question isn't whether he'll change the game, it's how much he'll transform it and how quickly he'll do it. Defense has always been the cornerstone of Victor Wembanyama's game, and this season he's taking it to astonishing new heights. Watch closely as he navigates a pick-and-roll scenario. Jordan Clarkson drives hard, looking to penetrate the defense. Victor, ever the keen observer, drops back with laser focus. When Clarkson dishes it out to Lauri Markkanen, Wembanyama shifts gears, sprinting from the paint to the three-point line in just 2 steps. Talk about range. But it doesn't stop there. In the next sequence, Wembanyama finds himself matched up against Kyle Filipowski. Instead of going straight up for a traditional block, Filipowski tries to muscle through, but he's met with an impenetrable wall. Victor Wembanyama. No chance. And here's where it gets even crazier. Even while literally sitting out of bounds, Wembanyama still manages to make his presence felt.
He's favored to win any award every year. He's a different specimen. We haven't seen anything like him.
When John Collins recovers a loose ball, he quickly realizes he's in for a rude awakening. Collins attempts to body up Victor like Filipowski did, but even a mid-air adjustment proves futile. Another block. Now imagine Wembanyama as the last line of defense in transition. You can practically feel the tension in the air as Gage Durant goes for a dunk, but Victor isn't phased. With a spectacular leap, he denies the shot at the rim. The post area transforms into a virtual no-fly zone whenever he's around.
Heading into the season that is Victor Wembanyama.
Take Alperen Sengun, for example. He backs down Wembanyama, thinking he can execute a simple hook shot. Big mistake. The result? A swift rejection that sends a clear message: don't even try it. Next up is Ivica Zubac, who foolishly attempts to power his way through. Wembanyama swats his shot away effortlessly, and when Zubac tries again, he's met with an even more emphatic rejection. It's almost as if Victor is a ghost haunting the paint.
It's sometimes hard to realize this is already the highest level of basketball, apart from playoffs, obviously.
Most of these highlights showcase Wembanyama's prowess in one-on-one scenarios, which is critical for any elite defender. But what elevates his game even further is his ability to play effectively within a team dynamic. Take this possession, for instance, in a dribble handoff action with Jeremy Grant. Wembanyama finds himself in a precarious 1v2 situation. He stays glued to Grant, forcing a pass that allows him to recover and close out on DeAndre Ayton. That's defensive IQ at its finest. With Victor Wembanyama on the court, it's not just a game, it's an exhibition of defensive artistry, where every block, every recovery, every swipe at the ball tells the story of a player who's not just participating in the NBA, but revolutionizing it.
It's just taking shots in rhythm. That's the most important for me.
Get ready, because this is just the beginning of what promises to be a legendary defensive showcase. Victor Wembanyama is back at it again, this time disrupting the pass in a stunning display of defensive mastery. In a dribble handoff action, Keon George comes off, and Wembanyama positions himself as the last line of defense. With a quick jab step, he baits George into thinking he has a clear lob opportunity to Kessler. But just as George makes his move, Wembanyama recovers with lightning speed, forcing a turnover. This is the kind of defensive awareness that leaves opponents guessing and creates game-changing moments. Now watch as he navigates another pick-and-roll scenario. Aya finds an opening against Harrison Barnes, but Wembanyama isn't backing down. Instead of merely baiting and recovering, he fully commits to the drive. AI hesitates to shoot, but Victor's reach is too much. He gets a hand on the lob, thwarting the play entirely. Turning these seemingly disadvantageous situations into positives for your team? That's how you win games.
Accomplishing something that I've been dreaming of, my whole life.
Contrast this with Rudy Gobert, who somehow claimed the Defensive Player of the Year title over Wembanyama last season. In the Western Conference Finals, the Mavericks exploited the Timberwolves' defense ranked #1 in the league by targeting Gobert in these exact scenarios. Picture this: Gobert in a similar 2v1 situation, attempting to jab at Luka Doncic to force a pass. But instead of recovering effectively, he pushes Daniel Gafford, only to watch helplessly as he gets dunked on. That's the kind of defensive breakdown that can cost you a series. The Mavericks thrived against the Timberwolves and throughout the playoffs because they found the chinks in the armor of an otherwise dominant defense. But Wembanyama is among the rare breed of players who can counter these offensive actions, showcasing his exceptional defensive prowess. However, it's crucial to remember that defense is only one side of Victor's game. Early in the season, critics were quick to pounce on him after a few lackluster outings, but those were just blips on the radar. Shortly thereafter, Wembanyama embarked on a tear, averaging an astonishing 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks over a 4-game stretch. For a player in only his second season, those are staggering numbers.
Constantly comparing Victor to Bol Bol.
We're going down that road again.
Victor Wembanyama's explosive play is a perfect blend of his innate ability to stretch the floor and the way his teammates create opportunities for him to shine. Take a look at Stephon Castle. During a fast break, he drives toward the baseline, drawing in Sarr. In that moment, Wembanyama stands wide open, and Castle dishes it out for a clean three-pointer. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Chris Paul steps up next, using a Wembanyama screen to force Jonas Valanciunas to make a tough choice. Once again, Victor finds himself unguarded and launches another 3 swoosh. The sheer versatility of Wembanyama is what makes him nearly impossible to defend. Here's a jaw-dropping moment. Wembanyama takes the ball, drives past Valanciunas, and soars for an emphatic dunk. We all know what he can do individually, but as the Spurs continue to develop their young roster, imagine the potential of having solid teammates alongside him. It's clear that another spectacular season lies ahead for the Spurs franchise player. The question remains, how will it all unfold? While the Spurs might not be championship contenders just yet, Wembanyama's growth is undeniable. This franchise has a history of resilience, and a turnaround is on the horizon. So what do you think? Is Wembanyama poised to surpass the impressive benchmarks he set during his rookie season? Does he have All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year accolades written all over his future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, peace.